Hi, and I am back. I just did a post a few weeks ago about how to resolve or navigate personality differences. And one of the requests that I've had most recently is about how do we make commitments in our relationship that our partner will follow through on. So I'm going to do a post today about how we can make commitments that are irresistible to commit to and that our partner and ourselves can be accountable to. And so one of the biggest ways that we see commitments falling through is in the examples of when somebody has an affair. And infidelity involves a betrayal of a commitment that results from deception, lying, dishonesty. And all three of those things, when they happen, they start with a betrayal or a breaking of a commitment that was made, or it was that there was never a commitment made and that one person was perhaps operating under the assumption that there was a commitment. So I'm going to go through three things that are going to let you know when your relationship either doesn't have a commitment or has a weak foundation of a commitment. And then I'm going to go through three solutions. So the three things that you're going to notice when you have a faulty commitment or that you have a non-existent commitment in your relationship is that you find yourself repeating yourself over and over again. You're making the same requests, you're complaining about the same things, but that it feels like your requests are falling on deaf ears because the behavior itself is not changing. The second thing that you'll notice is that it seems like someone in the relationship is telling white lies or incomplete lies. So both of those things, white lies or incomplete truths, are examples of lies of omission or not telling the full truth. And the third thing that you'll notice is that you've never had a conversation where you've made an agreement about what your intentions are for how you want to conduct yourself in the relationship, how you want to be in this relationship. You've created no agreements for how you want your partner to conduct themselves with integrity as it relates to your relationship. So the conversation has either never occurred or it occurred incompletely or ambiguously. So the three things that I'm going to suggest as ways to reinvest in your commitments so the commitments can be strong and sustainable is to, number one, stop repeating yourself. So if you're noticing yourself repeating yourself over and over again, and it feels like your words are falling on deaf ears, they probably are. So I'm going to use the words of Reverend Sylvia Sumter, who said that you want to stop repeating yourself and start resolving what's at the underlying issue of the behavior. So usually when we're complaining or we're kind of like bitching at someone to change their behavior, I want to recognize that the behavior is the most external part of someone's intention or someone's attention if they don't have intention. So underneath behavior, we have thoughts and emotions, and underneath emotions, we also have values, and we also have needs. So we want to look at not just the behavior, but we want to address the actual issue, the actual emotion, the actual thought, the actual need that is making someone act in the way that they're acting. So often when people talk about something that they don't like, they're not being intentional. If you're saying, oh, I don't like that I do this, you're not recognizing the part of you that is making a choice to do that. And that part of you that is making the choice is the intentional thoughts, emotions, and needs that cause you to act the way that you act, and your partner to act the way that they act. So that's number one. Number two is that anytime that there is a need for information, so this is in regards to when there is white lies or incomplete truths, we have to recognize that sometimes there is a need for a partner to have more information about something that's a little bit unusual that you would have in normal daily circumstances. One of those cases is in the chance that there is an affair or a breach in trust that occurs when someone has, had an affair or gone outside the relationship. There might be a need for the partner that was cheated on to have more information in that case that's necessary to the healing, that might be unusual, and it's often like not understood that that's a part of the healing process. It's not a part of the partner's distrust that they need to know like how, when, what, and why it happened. It's part of the healing process. So just as it's important for a person sometimes to get information and to have the complete story, it's also the responsibility of the person who's receiving that information to create a safe space for that information to be shared. So if you want your partner to share the complete story with you about what they did 3 months ago that you may or may not have liked, you have to commit to how you're going to respond to that information so that your partner is going to be willing and to feel safe in sharing that information with you. And then the third part is that it's about commitments overall. So often we don't think about commitments in a real serious way until we contemplate marriage or engagement. And so I just want to remind all couples out there that are in an intimate relationship that commitment is a necessary part of a secure relationship. And security is an inherent part of an intimate relationship. If you don't have security, then you don't have a strong foundation for intimacy, because intimacy requires vulnerability, and if it's not safe enough to be vulnerable, then it's not safe enough to be intimate. Enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for the drop of the phone there, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.